Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be all about making my cardboard pieces looking like metal, so that's the theme today for this. And yeah, so I decided to make a tag looking like a shield, and that's the way I went with it. So I was just kind of eyeing the tag here. I didn't measure anything, and it's not quite symmetrical, but it works, and it's kind of tricking the eye. It looks symmetrical to look at. So I'm just cutting some cardboard and then I have a centerpiece that I want to make inside the shield, and I'm cutting that out to the shape, and I'm just eyeing it, kind of trying to get a little bit of lines and stuff that I need to measure out, or to not measure out, to line up with what I'm doing with my eye. This is a piece of foam board, and I wanted to do different textures. I just didn't want to do flat cardboard, so I decided to do some layers with the foam board, and I cut that apart. And what's the nice thing about foam board, and what I discovered, that it's actually, the paper on it is a protecting for the little pieces of foam that's inside the foam board, and that's what it's actually for, using the foam inside. So you could just peel that paper. Sometimes it gets a little difficult. You can actually wet it pretty easy and with a little cloth and rub it off. It's very thin paper. If you ever painted on foam board, you know how it bubbles up, so you can know that the glue's not very strong. It's just meant to protect the foam, actually. So I think on the second one that I peeled, I was lucky on one side to get the full piece off. Here I'm using a steel ball from foil and just making it textured for the centerpiece. Now the piece that I cut out to the center of, I'm just actually cutting the outer edge and using that on top of the foam for another piece of layer of texture to make it look more like a metallic piece or whatever. So I have different layers to make it look realistic and fun. So here is another layer. And now I've decided where I kind of want it. I'm just lining it up a little bit, deciding where I want it. I want to make my tag part out. I'll cut it out now, so then it's not going to be hard with all the foam in that and different layers. And I have my center saved, and I'm just going to cut it out. Actually ended up using this craft knife and start cutting out pieces that are going to be removed, so then my foam texture underneath will be showing. And because it wasn't perfectly symmetrical, I couldn't just flip it over like I tried. So I just kind of eyed it and made it look good. And here I am just cutting out the pieces that I don't need, because I want some of that foam board to show up underneath. So here is my underneath layer, which is going to be the foam board. I've got to take that paper off. The first, see, that one just came off really fat, easy. Then I realized it wasn't quite the side it was supposed to be on, so I flipped it over and worked on that side a bit. It came out in little chunks, so I ended up just wetting it and then wiping it off, just to show you what I did here. Rubbing it, and there it is. Now I decide to use an end of a glue stick here to make kind of scales, and I did it just where the pieces were showing through. So I just drew out, I ended up tracing out the other pieces there, you can see, and just puncturing kind of scale marks with an end of a glue stick. I know I'm going super fast, but it's just the video gets so long that I didn't want to bore anyone. So here's my next layer. So I have my scale looking pieces on the back side on the foam, and when it's all painted, it's going to look pretty cool. So then I have like the flat metal pieces here. I cut through my foam part too for my tag. This is hockey tape. I showed what it was, but I'm going so quick here, I'm sorry guys. But I just put the hockey tape on certain parts here to make it look like fabric, and then there's another texture I added to it, and it looks really cool painted. Again, I'm super sorry that I'm going so fast. I'm trying to keep these, especially the tag videos, a little shorter, under 15 minutes. So that's the only reason, is because it's a tag video that I'm a little bit more concerned about the length of time. I don't want to bore somebody, or someone skip the video because they've been watching the tags, but then this one's too long. So I'm just gluing my center in now. Now I have all these layers of, I'm trying to round it out a bit, different textures. So I'm scraping, doing some damage to the sword on the cardboard because I don't want the cardboard just to be perfectly smooth. I'm cutting little pieces, nicks out of it, scraping it up, looking like it was in battle, which really looked nice and helped at the end of the painting job. You can't see a whole lot with texture as you're working, but right now you can see it with, you know, when you're painting. Here I'm looking for a center, and I was going to cut out something wonky. I ended up choosing the snowflake at first. I ended up obviously choosing another button, but it's funny because I chose 3 buttons, glued all three on. And this one I was like, oh no, I want this one. But then I realized it was quite thick, and it was getting to what you wouldn't have on a shield. It was quite thick. So I ended up going with one of the original ones I saw, and this is it. And I decided to clip around the edges to make it look like broken pieces and that kind of thing. So I just cut that out with a tool and hot glue that in. I know I'm going super fast. Now I found 2 tacks and then furniture tacks, and I just added a chain to it, and I hot glued those furniture tacks after I decide which spot to go in. That's what I'm doing there. And then the chain is there. So all I'm doing next now is I'm actually did slow down a bit on the video at this point so you can see some of the painting. I hope it doesn't show much. Before I was at 8 speed. But I am painting the whole thing black, a kind of a, not a pure black, but dark, more of a gray black. And I'm just doing all of it that color now. It actually did take a while to make it. I didn't time it this time, but I didn't check how much footage I had beforehand. But I really wanted to get the texture and make it look like metal, and I was really working on that with this particular project. So yeah, I'm so sorry about it being so fast, but I really want to show you guys that you can get so much out of just stuff, recycled stuff at home, and reuse stuff. Here I'm using different DecoArt metal looking paints. These are called metallic lusters, and they're on silver and bronze, gold, and copper, and those are some of the paints I used, even like a kind of white silver, and a red one, which was like the fabric tape that I put on there, radiant red, and that's the colors I used. Oops, I'm making noise here, sorry. And those are the colors I used. And at the very end, you don't see it, but I do brush, really dry brush a white, light white. And if you're curious with the brushes I'm using here, this is makeup brushes I bought from the dollar store, and they really work really well, and I saw other people using them for like terrain builds and stuff like that, and how they paint really nice layers. So I thought I'd give it a try, and I really like the way it looks. So I washed them. I had them soaking in the water as I'm working, and washed them right away after, and they came nice and clean from using the acrylic paints and stuff. So I think these are going to be fine to use, and they're only dollar store makeup brushes. So if you get a chance to stop in and pick some up, that'd be great, because I think they work really wonderful for textured stuff and that kind of thing. So here's my little touch, what's metal with a little touch of copper in it. And so I'm just kind of working back and forth with this with different paints to make it look more like a piece of metal. And I really loved how it turned out. Here's a bit of gold, and these you can order online, DecoArt online or whatever. Right now, with everything going on right now, they are not open, but you might be able to get some, lucky to get some in the craft store. I know I get some DecoArt products I see in the dollar store, but usually not the metallic lusters. Usually I see those at Michael's. And at this point, with everything that's going on right now, when I drove by Michael's, they are taking orders. So if you call Michael's, they put the things, maybe check your local Michael's, they might be taking orders and putting them out in the basket, like bringing them out to the front of the store for you. So who knows. Anyway, it's nice to use some of the things that you have lying around your stash. Like I said, buttons, cardboard, foam pieces, and these are just leftover pieces from other projects so that I made. And I've had these furniture tacks forever, and you know, so it's all nice, fun things that you can recycle. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed these 30 days of Mixed Media Tags, and check all the other ones out. Some of them are better, some of them are not so good videos. So great. It just, sometimes your inspiration just lies away and you just don't even know what to do, and then some days you really get it. So check out Nikki Parr's link that I'll have in the description of hers, and we'll see what she's doing. Thanks again, friends, for watching. I hope you really enjoyed these videos. I think I'm pretty much done with my voiceover here, so I think I'll leave you guys at that. See y'all soon. Bye bye for now.